The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings, established 1898, the oldest bank in Christian County. We go north now to Liberty North High School, home of the Eagles, and second-year head football coach Andy Lierman. Coach Lierman, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's always good to visit with you.
Coach, coming off of a 12-1 season a year ago, talk about how the summer's gone and some of the guys that you're going to have to replace just because of graduation.
Yeah, summer's been great. We always kind of get our schedule set in the spring and kind of get things ready to roll. And, you deal with your baseball kids that are still playing a lot of baseball. And the last couple of years here at North, we've had a really good baseball team, won the state title the last couple of years. So you don't see a whole lot of those baseball kids in the spring, and then they roll right into their summer ball. So there's a couple baseball kids we haven't seen around a whole lot. They're going to be some big pieces in our puzzle, so to speak. But we've had a great summer. Guys are working hard. They're doing the right things. We've always got really good attendance. We're sitting at right about 130 10th through 12th graders, so we've got really good numbers. The kids are doing a great job coming out and doing what we ask them to do. We feel like our culture has been created over the last several years, and the kids have just kind of bought into it, and it just kind of it's more of a revolving door now. The guys just that kind of come in and out, they graduate, and the next ones come in, and they just they've seen what the guys do in front of them, and it's just kind of what we do now. We kind of hang our hat on the weight room and working hard and kind of getting big and strong and getting ourselves and our bodies prepared to play in the fall. And so the summer's been good. We started with it. We always start with a camp at the end of school. We kind of treat it like spring ball was come right out the gate and start with a 2-week camp, and then we head down to UCM down in Warrensburg. Got several teams down there we have to go down and compete with, and the coaches down there do a great job. So we had a good camp down there. Got a lot better, got to see some guys play for the first time. And then we kind of hit into a little middle of the summer where we're just kind of cranking out the weights. And then we kind of got back into where we're finishing up our contact days here at the end of July. And then, like I said, getting ready to head over down to Springfield there, down by you guys to go over and see Coach Thomas over at Kickapoo and have a little time practicing with those guys. And so we're excited to kind of finish up our summer that way. As far as guys that have graduated, we had 36 seniors last year, so we had a huge class, and they're incredible kids, and they did a great job for us last year going 12-1, like you said. And we've got some holes to replace. There's no doubt about that, but we feel really good about this group of seniors coming in. They're uber talented. They've got a ton of talent in them. But I say all the time, the kids that make a great high school football team are your glue kids, and those kids that are really good high school players. Maybe your lower level college players that really, really work hard and they fit into your scheme and do the right things. And so we've got some of those guys that are coming through. Our safeties, our secondary kind of got depleted a little bit with graduation. We had a couple safeties in a corner that graduated. We had some offensive linemen graduate that will be able to kind of plug some guys back in. So we've got some spots for sure, but we've got some very, very key pieces that have come back. And then we've got some younger guys, juniors, and then some guys in our senior class that will end up being one-year starters this year for us that are going to do a great job. And so we feel excited really about our chances this year, the guys that are coming back and the guys that we're plugging in. And so we're just hoping to kind of keep the thing out of the ditch, if you will, kind of try to keep it between the white lines.
You've had so much success there, especially over the past 2 seasons that you've been a part of there. But, Coach, talk a little bit about you mentioned coming down and playing or hooking up with Kickapoo. What does that look like, and what is it a scrimmage? Are there other teams involved, or is it just 2 teams?
It's more just like a practice. We just kind of get together and we kind of do some things practice-wise. There's not really it really doesn't look like a football game or anything like that. We just get together and do some drill work together and practice. He's got some space out there that we can utilize, and we just kind of get it together and compete a little bit. So it's nothing crazy. It's the end of the summer, so you're trying to be careful, making sure guys don't get hurt and are ready for the start of the season. And so, knowing him and being aware of how he practices and what he does, it's been a good combination for our team to hook up with his and get together and get some good work in, really is all it is. Some good practice time. It's you're not going to see anybody going to the ground or anything crazy like that. It's just really working on skills against other kids and competing a little bit to try to get yourself kind of sharpened up for the season.
Yeah, is this an overnight trip?
Yeah, we're gonna just come down and we're gonna be there about 24 hours. So we'll come down Wednesday afternoon and we'll hop on a bus and a couple yellow dogs and come down and we're gonna practice that evening and sleep in the gym, and then wake up in the morning and practice again, and then hopefully be on the road by 10:30 or so and back in Liberty by 2. So it'll be a couple short practices and a little bit of time. And again, we can do that because we take care of them. You know, we're trying to be smart with how we practice, but again, getting some really good work in and having some fun with it.
As you look forward to this year, and obviously the classifications and in some cases even the conferences haven't been decided, up in the Kansas City area. Where do you anticipate you guys falling? I mean, maybe where you were last year in that Class 6 District 4?
I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be interesting to see, who moves around, so to speak, with the different enrollment and the way that the classifications have kind of hit with the numbers that the states moved around this year. And so it'll be interesting. I'm anticipating us being on the top end of the Class 6 like we were last year, and so probably up with the bigger schools in the Kansas City area. But there's several schools that are Class 5 that could be borderline Class 6 the way they're looking at doing it. So it might get interesting. There might be a few more teams in the Northland here in Kansas City that might fit into our district and might bump others out, so to speak. And so, either way, we know it's going to be super competitive. However, it ends up folding out. I mean, there's a ton of talent in Kansas City, especially here in this last few years, and this year's not going to be any different. And so we just got to, just like any year, we got to get ourselves ready to go throughout the season, try to stay healthy, and then whoever falls in that Class 6 district is going to be a tough get. There's no doubt about that.
Again, visiting with Liberty North head football coach Andy Lierman, and coaches, for folks that maybe are going to go out this year and maybe watch the Eagles play, who are one or two kids that someone like myself that not that familiar with the program, but who's just a couple of guys on your team that I need to probably be watching that maybe I haven't heard of before?
Yeah, we've got coming back for what seems like his fifth or sixth year. It's not. It's his fourth year. Is Melvin Laster, who's our Mike linebacker. He's the two-time Class 6 Defensive Player of the Year. He's the two-time award winner here with the Simonis here in Kansas City, being the top linebacker, and with the Buchanan Award. And so, he's a very, very good player. He's probably in the best shape of his life. He's moving around great. Obviously, being a 4-year starter now, he's very, very familiar with our defense and how that works, and he's kind of become the captain of that defense. So you definitely would want to keep an eye out for number 9 if you came and watched the Liberty North football game. We've also got a defensive tackle, nose guard, and Darius Pamami. He's an incredible player. He'll be a 4-year starter for us as well. Sits at about 6'2", 310, and he's just a big, strong young man who's done a great job and really gotten his body into some good shape this year. So those two guys are going to anchor our defense. Also playing some defense is going to be a kid named Jay-Sean Ross. Jay-Sean's a very, very good edge rusher, outside linebacker, edge rusher type kid who's going to be some major problems for some people. He does a very good job of rushing the passer and playing run defense. He's gotten a lot better at this year. He'll also flip on the other side of the ball and going to play some wide receiver. So you'll see him on both sides of the ball. Big, tall, long, strong kid at 6'4", 230. So he's a big old boy who's very, very athletic and will do a good job. On the same side of the ball, on the offensive side, another kid, Keelan Smith. Keelan's be a 2-year starter here. He's going to be playing wide receiver, some offline tight end stuff. So he's a very, very talented kid. And then we got a running back, Michael Joe Barnett, who's coming off from injury, but was an over 1,000-yard rusher just in 6 games last year. And so he's almost back to full go, and he is bound and determined to have a great senior year, and I'm excited to watch him. And so, we've got a couple of offensive linemen in Braden Gifford and Modi Williams and a couple other guys that are plugging in this year as 1-year starters. That offense we've got could be pretty good this year. So we're excited about those guys. And I know you just asked for a couple, but I feel like I got quite a few. So I want to make sure you knew who to come watch, guy.
I will know who to watch on Wednesday, provided they got names on their jerseys. I probably won't even need the names. They're as good as what folks think they are. But coach, again, we're just a handful of days out of or a couple of handfuls of days out of starting up with fall practice. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes, sir. It's always fun. Each year is so different. The expectations and the standards that we have for our program don't change whatsoever. But it's just fun to watch a new team. You know, everybody talks about the kids you have coming back and what you did before. But as coaches, you know that none of that stuff really matters. What matters is the group that you have now and how you develop those guys and how you prepare them and how you get them ready to go for the new season, because each year's new and each team's different and each team's going to face different adversity and different things during the course of the season. And so getting ready to prepare those guys and getting ready to go, it's a fun feeling. It's exciting. We like to tell them it's Christmas in August around here. We'll play some Christmas music and get excited, just like you will on Christmas morning, because it's a whole new thing that we're getting ready to take on. And so we're just extremely fortunate with what we have here in the community of Liberty, with the football support that we have, with our administration, our school district, and our community. You know, we just finished up our youth camp guy these last week. We had over 300 little kids, K-7, out at our youth camp. And, you know, I tell everybody it's a combination, I think, between a guy that wears number 15 on his jersey and Patrick Mahomes that everybody's excited around Kansas City, and a little bit of good football at Liberty North. And so we just feel very, very blessed to have the opportunity to get out there and do what we love to do as coaches, with a tremendous staff that we have. And yeah, we're ready to go on August 7th. We'll be excited. And we got an incredible home opener, or excuse me, on the road this year, opener at Lee Summit North. And so that's going to be a lot of fun.
You bet. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and look forward to keep catching up with you and keeping up with you throughout the season. And maybe Wednesday we'll get to meet in person.
Yes, sir. That'd be great. I look forward to it.
All right. Me as well. Coach Andy Lierman, Liberty North head football coach. And Coach, safe travels, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir. War Eagle.
This has been a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network. Thank you for tuning